Hi guys, this is Garuda, and I wanted to talk a little bit to you about the power of silence. Um, and when I say the power of silence, I don't mean the absence of noise or sound. What I mean is an inner silence, the experience of that we often experience in meditation, or the experience that we may experience in nature. And this simple experience of inner silence is our natural state. It is ever present, and it is without boundary. And it's our natural state. It's the silence is the language of the self. It's the language of consciousness. It is beyond belief. It is beyond any religious structure, any philosophy, any system. It is our natural state. Um, when we're born, we are born from that infinite silence, and we never leave that infinite silence. What happens is we grow up, we become distracted within the mind, and we start to identify with thought in the mind, which limits the experience. And so it appears as if silence leaves us, but actually it never truly leaves us. We just simply identify with thoughts in the mind. So if we are interested in discovering peace, happiness, love, true intelligence, there's only one way for us to rediscover that on a permanent basis, on a solid basis, and that's through the experience of silence. And what's really key in order for us to do that is to find a meditation practice. A meditation practice, a good solid meditation practice is invaluable in rediscovering that infinite ocean of silence. And we can go online all over the place these days and find people offering meditation techniques and so on, and some of them I'm sure are fantastic, and some of them not so. Whatever way you choose to get to silence, or whatever way you choose to meditate, it must take you to an experience of silence. Then it's true meditation. Meditation is silence. Silence is true meditation. Meditation is not about creating visions in the mind, even if they're spiritual visions, which may seem beautiful to the mind, but actually it's not true meditation. True meditation is a space that is revealed when we relax totally in our being. Some say it's the space between two thoughts, or the space prior to a thought arising. And it is a very expanded state of alive, dynamic stillness. This is beyond the identification with any vision, any thought. And so very often what's needed is to find a good solid meditation practice for this, to help in this experience, because although silence is our natural state, we have, through the history of our life, become so identified with the thought patterns in our mind, the subconscious programs, the thought patterns in the mind, that it can seem very tricky and challenging to disidentify from those patterns, and to identify more with silence. And to identify more with silence is what is needed in order for us to be free as a human being. The practice that I have the great privilege of teaching and the great privilege of practicing, I've been practicing for many years, is called the Ishaya's Ascension of the Bright Path. And it belongs to a very ancient, it arises from an ancient tradition, the Ishaya tradition. It's not a new teaching. It's a very ancient teaching, actually. But it offers a very solid way in order for us to rediscover that infinite silence within. There are a few teachings out there that can offer similar things, and anything that takes you to stillness is worth its weight in gold. Fantastic. That's the whole point. That's the whole purpose. In my experience, in my practice, what's helped for me dramatically is the experience of ascension. And so It's a very solid teaching. It requires no belief, and they're based on the meditation practice. Offers mental techniques that actually transcend the mind and take you to an experience of to joy, to true happiness and intelligence. So whatever method you choose to get to that experience of silence is absolutely needed. In the context of the Shakti Institute, there are many ancient sacred sciences which I particularly love, such as the art and the science of Sanskrit, the vibration, the power, the creative power principle of the universe, which is Sanskrit. The rhythms of Sanskrit, or the rhythms of natural law, which are the Vedic hymns, which I also love. And the Veda Vedantic teachings, the end of the Vedic teachings, such as the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras, which talk about the revelation of truth, the revelation of oneness, the revelation of absolute freedom for the human being, which is our birthright. All of these things are composed within the ancient language of Sanskrit, Now, traditionally, in order to even look at the Vedas, or particularly the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras and the Vedas, it was required and is required that one has a meditation practice in order to study these ancient sciences and arts. And the reason is because it's only via silence that we can unlock the doorways into the deeper mysteries of these ancient teachings, such as the Upanishads and so on. Otherwise, the Sanskrit remains largely intellectual, and we miss the soul of the teaching. And therefore it has little relevance in our lives, in our sort of modern world. And it has very little meaning. It may satisfy the intellect on some level, and that's fine and beautiful, but we miss the heart of the teachings. And so that's why, again, silence is so key. Having a valid meditation practice is so key to the discovery of the inner beauty of these ancient sciences. It's a prerequisite, really, in order to discover the deep mysteries and penetrate the mysteries of these wonderful teachings that are available to us in this day and age. So I would recommend that if you're serious in exploring Sanskrit, the Vedas, the Upanishads, that you find a true meditation practice that will take you to silence, that will directly take you to the experience of truth, so that all of these subsequent things that are kind of like supplements that you can play with in your life and your spiritual path can take great shape and meaning and true power and grace. But it only comes from an experience of silence. So I hope you enjoyed that little talk. If you've got any questions for me, feel free to write to me. Otherwise, I'll see you somewhere soon. Bye for now.